consider the other roles that I have in life beyond being a founder, and make sure that those people are given sufficient oxygen.
Today we're chatting with Aaron Ward, co-founder and CEO of Huckleberry.
Huckleberry is software to help people grow their career and doing work they love, using feedback from your teammates. We need feedback to grow. Well, we have blind spots. And up until now, getting feedback means waiting for your company to tell you that it is feedback day and sending out like lots of surveys to your teammates that they hate answering, and many of them don't. And your managers have to like summarize that and then deliver it to you in a way that's, hopefully helpful to you and not gonna traumatize you. So Huckleberry just makes that whole process like 10 times easier. We're using voice-based AI so that instead of having to type and having to enter, complete surveys, your teammates just talk to the AI equivalent of an executive coach. And they're just going to answer like 3 or 4 questions, telling stories about what it's like to work with you.
What was it that inspired you? Was this something that frustrated you about previous pursuits, or as being an employee? Like what inspired you to take on this problem?
I came out of my previous startup, which was a customer feedback platform called Ask Nicely. And in that business, we saw the impact that feedback had inside our customers, particularly on their frontline employees when they were caught in the act of doing things right. We're essentially able to deliver appreciation and recognition to frontline workers on a daily basis, and that gave them some, reason to get out of bed every morning and go and serve the customer right. Now, inside our business, because we really believed in feedback, we thought, well, we should make feedback available to everybody inside the company. And that's where we encountered this process of sending surveys, again, that nobody likes. And we thought, well, there's just got to be a better way.
And part and parcel of that, I think that's so interesting about your story is Ask Nicely moved to Portland and really embraced building a company here in Portland. And now you've decided again that Huckleberry is going to be a Portland company. What inspired you to build in Portland again?
Well, I'm just such a fan of Portland as a city. But I guess for us, the main reason was cultural. We had a business that was all about delivering great experiences to customers. And in Portland, I discovered a city unlike anywhere else I've been in the world, where people pour a level of love and craftsmanship into everything they do, to the extent that sometimes it's almost over the top. And I loved that. Our whole thesis was that if we could recruit people to come and work for Ask Nicely that were of Portland and they knew what it meant to overcommit on every customer experience, that we could build a culture that evangelized that particular gospel in a way that was very authentic. And that was super successful for us.
I have had a long history in Portland, and I don't think people recognize how much kind of, in addition to that creativity and craft, that like customer service, kind of ensuring that everybody is having the best experience is definitely a facet of the culture here that I'm really glad that you and your company picked up on, because we've seen it happen time and time again, but I don't think it's ever been really explicitly stated that this is something that Portland's really good at doing.
I think it's unique. There's something in the water here, and it spells out, because you can feel that genuine pride that people have for what they do. And there's a tie back to Huckleberry here, because there's this idea that if you're doing work that leverages your particular skills, doing something you're particularly passionate about, that's where you find true happiness, and that's where people really perform at their best. And Huckleberry is essentially a way for people to discover those strengths, discover that level of passion, and then prove it based on the feedback that they're getting from their teammates. So with Huckleberry, what we're doing is capturing that feedback from your teammates. It travels with you from role to role and from company to company. So you can essentially build a profile that you can share and build your reputation and build your career on the back of.
I love that portability aspect of it because it seems so often employees get feedback that they can't really do anything with, or that feedback is owned by another department. So the idea of making that feedback portable and actionable at an employee level is really appealing, to be sure.
Yeah, well, we sort of think it's kind of odd that their feedback is about you, but it doesn't belong to you. We think that that should change. We think that the world is a better place if you're able to share with others how your teammates love working with you.
Yep. Well, and that's a great point of transition into my next question. You are a serial founder, which makes you even a better candidate for this question. What is one piece of advice you would give to a startup founder, be they a first-time founder or a serial founder?
Well, goodness, if you're a serial founder, then I commiserate. I think as a sufferer of repeat founder syndrome, um, I would suggest that we over glamorize this sometimes. It's more of a condition. My wife would much prefer that I wasn't one, but it happens to be what I am. And so here I am doing it. If you're out there considering founder life, I would say think twice about it. Uh, but if you are also a sufferer of the startup gene, as I am, and as I think you are too, um, then so the feedback that I've been given that has been transformational for me personally is to consider the other roles that I have in life beyond being a founder and make sure that those things, those people are given sufficient oxygen. So I'm a husband. I'm also a father, and I have now learnt that to be a better founder, I have to be a better father first. And I wish I'd learnt that earlier in my founder journey.
That's a really good insight. I think so often we forget that we are humans trying to build things, and we're multifaceted people who have a variety of things we're juggling and a variety of things we want to excel at. So I really appreciate you bringing out that point. In that pursuit, like of remaining healthy, remaining human, what's one resource, could be startup oriented or just you as a person, like what's one resource you find yourself coming back to time and time again?
The things that I'm reading or listening to at the moment, I'm a big fan of the Acquired podcast. And I enjoy having a small commute into Portland each day because I get a little bit smarter hearing about the stories of these sort of iconic businesses, both new and old. And Acquired sort of plays them out over 3 or 4 hours long, big, long form stories about the Googles and the Microsofts, but also the IKEAs and the Costcos. And there's that Mark Twain quote, just to sort of bring it back to Huckleberry, that history never repeats, but sometimes rhymes. And good to be able to learn from those sorts of stories. The other recent read for me, which I've now reread, and I've found that beautiful, is Unreasonable Hospitality by Huckleberry. Do you know that one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love that one.
So like he's the guy that turned the restaurant 11 Madison Park into the world's best restaurant, and it's just a great story around customer experience and culture and leadership. But a little bit like the Portland narrative, it's really about pouring love into every detail and making people really feel seen on both sides of the table. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a great call out. And I really appreciate the way the leadership team empowered employees to take those small steps or opportunities to make people feel better or better enjoy their experience at the restaurants. And sometimes it doesn't take much, but it does take being intentional about creating those experiences for people and giving folks the opportunity to embrace that. So good call out. I love that book. I should probably go back and reread it again. It's a good one to touch base on again and again. And in that vein, speaking of hospitality, how can we be helpful to you and your pursuits with Huckleberry?
We're very ambitious we want to build a business that can have some real impact on hopefully hundreds of thousands or millions of people around the world, and that means telling stories. So I think what you do here in Portland is wonderful in terms of beating the drum for the local ecosystem. I'd love to find a way in which we can really showcase the stories of people getting lots of value out of Huckleberry and helping people build great careers. So that would be fun to explore.
Yeah, and I look forward to help amplifying those stories as they come out as well. It's always nice to see Portland companies, as is my kind of like soapbox, is like, please just do a little bit more self-promotion. Like, you don't need to be overly egotistical about it, but like make a little more noise about the awesome businesses that you're building, and that makes it a lot easier to amplify that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think we're really proud to be here in Portland. I think that we want to build a business of significance, not just from here, but sort of supported by here as well. So we're proud to have taken investment from the region. We're also really motivated to build a cluster of customers inside Portland that can help us shape the product roadmap. And so really keen to link arms with progressive HR leaders from this region and build something that we can have some shared ownership towards as well.
Do you have a startup story to tell? I would love to hear from you.